Good morning student, this is Meenachi, Assistant Professor, BA Political Science and Administration. Today we are going to discuss about the salient features of the Indian Constitution. Indian Constitution has a lot of features, but today we are going to discuss about only the 4 features of Indian Constitution. First one, it is the lengthiest and written constitution. As per the United Nations Organization, in the world, nearby 196 countries are registered in the United Nations Organization. Out of 196 countries, India only the lengthiest and written constitution of the world, because it is very comprehensive, elaborate and a detailed document. If go for in 1949, originally the Indian Constitution contained the preamble, next 395 articles divided into 22 parts and 8 schedules only. But as per the 2024, presently it consists of, because of the lot of constitutional amendment, the Indian Constitution now they have a preamble and 448 articles divided into 25 parts and 12 schedules. So no other constitution in the world has so many articles and schedules except of our Indian Constitution. Why Indian Constitution have this elephant size of constitutions of the world? It has nearby 4 factors. First one, it is the geographical factors. Because in India, because of the vastness of our country and its diversity, next one, it is the historical factors. The influence of the Government of India Act 1935, which is also very elaborate and bulkiest constitution. Next to go for the single constitution. Most of the federal countries as well as largest countries in the world, they have a double constitution. One for the central government, again another one for the state government. But India, they have only for the single constitution for both the central government and the state governments. Next to go for the to framing of the constitution done by the Constituent Assembly. Constituent Assembly members mostly belonging to the legal luminaries, that is the lawyers. Because of the lawyers' dominance also, the Indian Constitution is very lengthiest and written constitution. So the Constitution contains not only the fundamental principles of governance of our country, but also it discusses about the detailed administrative procedures also. That's why Indian Constitution is the very largest and lengthiest written constitution of the world. Next, go for the drawn from various sources. Our Indian Constitution not only written a single person or single Constituent Assembly, it taken nearby 96 plus countries constitutions also. So our Indian Constitution, it is the drawn from various sources. First one is the Indian Constitution of India has borrowed most of its provision from the Constitution of various other countries. As per the Constituent Assembly Drafting Committee member Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, as per the B.R. Ambedkar says, the Constitutions of India as framed after ransacking all the constitution, all the known constitutions of the world. Next, the structural part of the Constitution is to large extent derived from the Government of India Act 1935. First one is the federal system, second one is the judiciary, third one governor system, then emergency provisions, the public service commission, and most of the administrative details are directly derived from the Government of India Act 1935. Next, go for the philosophical part of the Constitution. The philosophical part means the fundamental rights. Next, go for the directive principles of state policy. The fundamental rights is directly derived from the American Constitution and the directive principles of state policy from Irish Constitution. Next, go for the political part of the Constitution. The political part of the Constitution means what is the relationship between the executive and the legislature. So, relationship between the executive and the legislature, this type of provision is directly drawn from the British Constitution. Apart from structural part and the philosophical part, political part, the other provisions of the Constitution have been drawn from the various constitutions of Canada, Australia, Germany, erstwhile USSR, France, South Africa, Japan and so on. Next, go for the Indian constitution. It is the blend of rigidity and flexibility. What is mean by rigidity constitution as well as flexibility constitution means, the rigid constitution means it requires a special procedure for its amendment. Example for the American constitution. Flexible constitution means can be amended in the same manner as the ordinary laws are made. That means there is no special procedure for its constitutional amendment. That is called, for example, British constitution. But India, the constitution of India is neither rigid nor flexible, the synthesis of both. That means under article 368 of Indian constitution provides for two types of amendments. First one, some provisions can be amended by the special majority. That means out of the you take an example of parliament, out of 545 members, 2/3 majority of the members of each house present and voting, and the majority of the total membership of each house means that is called a special majority. Next, other provisions, that means some other provisions can be amended by special majority of the parliament and with the ratification of half of the states. So this type of amendment, it is called rigid provision. Next, go for the some of the provision, it may be amended simple majority, that is called flexibility. But Indian constitution provisions can be amended by simple majority as well as some of the provisions can be amended by special majority. That's why Indian constitution is called both flexible and rigid constitution. Next, go for the parliamentary form of government. The parliamentary system is based on the principle of cooperation and coordination between the legislature and executive organs of the government. What are the features of parliamentary system to be followed of India means, first one, it is the presence of nominal and real executive. That means head of the state, that is the president. Head of the government means that is the real executive. That is example of prime minister in central government, chief minister in state government. Next, go for the majority party rule. Majority party rule means the parliament lower house, which political party get majority of the seats, that political party leader becoming the ruling party member. So it followed mostly majority party rule. Next one, go for the collective responsibility of the executive to the legislature. The ministers of the parliament or state legislative assembly individually or collectively directly responsible to the legislature. Next, go for the membership of the ministers in the legislature. Every minister, go for the central government or state government means minister belonging to the legislative member. Next, leadership of the prime minister or the chief minister. In parliament, the ruling party leader becoming the chief minister or prime minister. Next, go for the dissolution of the lower house. That is the features of parliamentary system to be followed in India. Next class we are going to discuss about another 4 features also. Fine. Thank you.